So let's go ahead and talk about the Phrygian mode. Phrygian mode. If you remember from our acronym, it goes I, do, or don't. So I do, particularly, which is number 3. Particularly, like modes a lot. So we have Phrygian as the 3rd scale degree, which means we take a major scale. I like C major because there's no sharps or flats. We use the 3rd of it, which is in this case is E. The 3rd of C major is E, and we simply write E major starting on E without any sharps or flats, just like C major. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Oops, let's go a little bit closer. D, E, and we stop there. Okay, so if we were to look at chords and or even half steps first, anyway, we could do half steps, and we got half, whole, 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 half, whole, and whole. So that would be your Phrygian pattern. And then we can talk about chords, and I'll go a little bit faster because we did the work last time in the Dorian video. So we can do this. E is simply going to be E, G, and B. In C major, the E chord is always minor, so this could be minor 1. F chords are major naturally. G chords are major naturally. Oops, I'm still in major mode. Okay, there we go. This is going to be major 3, minor 4, diminished 5. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Diminished 5. It's not a very common thing that you get to see. That's why Phrygian is awesome. Okay. We got C, which is going to be a major chord, so that's a major 6. And then D is a minor 7. And finally, we have E as a minor 1. Okay, so just like Dorian, we saw that Dorian was a minor mode. This is also a minor mode because if we take E, G, and B and make this one chord, it's a minor. So this is a minor mode, just like Dorian. Minor mode, just like Dorian. Okay. The differences between Dorian and this one, of course, are the natural minor would have this raised, and Dorian would also have the 6th raised. Okay, so this would be E Dorian, but we're gonna make E Phrygian by keeping everything natural. And something I want to show you on how you can think of this scale in a different way is if you were to take a natural minor scale. We're not going to make harmonic and melodic this time, but you do need the natural minor. So if we made E natural minor, which is the same as G major because they're relatives, you would have the F sharp there. So the E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and E. Now, if you were to do your intervals from the first note here, and in fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and do a major scale as well, because maybe that'll help start there. So let's go ahead and do E on, let's do it down here. E, F sharp, G sharp. We're making E major here with 4 sharps. Fat cats go down. Okay, so cats and down. We got fat and go already. So we got E major. If you were to look at your E major scale and you take every single interval from the root going on, okay, you would have the following. You would have a major second. This would be a perfect first, right? A perfect, a major third, perfect 4, of course, perfect 5, of course, major 6, major 7, and a perfect 8. If you don't know these, maybe you should go review your intervals when we did intervals. Okay, so but if you look at the natural minor, maybe you've done this already and you found out, oh well, we have a major second here. This is again natural minor, nat mine. This is major. You have a major second here, minor third here. Let me go ahead and do it this way. Minor third, perfect 4th again, perfect 5th again. Right, this should make sense because they are the same note. Minor 6th here, minor 7th here, and a perfect octave. Okay, so maybe you've noticed, well, the major is nice because it has only perfects, perfects, and the rest are major. So that's nice. It makes sense. Major should have major intervals or perfect if necessary. Remember, only 1s, 4s, and 5s, and 8s are perfect. Everything else, 2, 3s, 6s, and 7s are major, minor, or other things like that. Okay. But if you look at the natural minor, maybe you've noticed, well, our perfects are still perfect, and this is still P1. Our perfects are still perfect, and our major has gone down to minor on all cases, except this one. What the heck? What is up with 2? Why didn't it go to a minor? Well, luckily, Phrygian is here to save the day. Here's Phrygian as a superhero. I can't draw, guys. I'm like, I'm going to draw, and then I fail. Okay, so anyway, he's standing, maybe he has a cape. Okay, so Phrygian, the Phrygian superhero. Da-da-da-da. Okay, so he's here to save the day. And all he does is lower the 2. So it's, you can think of Phrygian, as natural minor, nat mine, with a flat 2. And what this does is it gets rid of this sharp. It gets rid of that sharp. So our major 2, if we get rid of the sharp, becomes a minor 2. Okay, so maybe you could think of it as the real minor scale. That's how I like to think of it, because everything is minor, minor, minor. Natural minor is fine. It is probably more people will argue that's the real minor scale. Phrygian's Phrygian, minor is minor. But because you're holding on to the major second with this sharp there, it doesn't seem minor enough to me. So maybe Phrygian is even more minor. And Phrygian is used in like death metal music to make sure that your angst is maybe your Phrygian angst. Maybe that's a thing. We can call it Phrygian angst. Your Phrygian angst is real because minor isn't dark enough, so they go Phrygian, which is a really dark scale. And it sounds again like I played it in the other video, but we can play it again. It just sounds so dark. And then you hold E and you play it like this. And you start making music like that, and that'd be kind of cool. Okay, so you can get really dark with your Phrygian angst. Phrygian angst. Okay, so that's how another way you can think of the Phrygian scales. What I want to say is natural minor with flat 2, and also all the major intervals have turned to minor.